Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. I'm here with the top 20 JRPGs on Nintendo Switch that you absolutely need to play. Whether you're new to the genre or a longtime fan, these games offer incredible stories, deep gameplay, and hours of fun. Let's jump right into the list. Super Mario RPG brings Mario into the world of role-playing games in the most charming way possible. The story follows Mario, Peach, and Bowser teaming up to stop an alien weapon called Smithy from taking over the Mushroom Kingdom after it destroys Star Road and scatters the star pieces across the world. The combat uses timed button presses during attacks and defenses to deal extra damage or reduce incoming harm, making every battle interactive and engaging. You'll explore different areas, recruit party members like the puppet Geno and Cloud being Mallow, and solve puzzles while collecting star pieces to rebuild the path to Star Road. The game mixes traditional RPG elements like leveling up and equipment with Mario's platforming roots, creating battles that feel fast and fun rather than slow and boring. With its colorful isometric graphics and memorable soundtrack, this remake brings the SNES classic to modern systems with improved visuals while keeping everything that made the original so beloved by fans. Lunar Remastered collection includes two classic JRPGs that focus heavily on storytelling and character development. In Silver Star Story, you play as Alex, a young adventurer who dreams of becoming a hero like his idol Dragon Master Dyne, but discovers a dark truth about the world's goddess Luna and must gather the four dragons' power to save everyone he cares about. Eternal Blue follows Hero and Lucia as they uncover mysteries about the Blue Star and face cosmic threats. Both games use traditional turn-based combat where positioning matters. Front row characters deal more damage but take more hits, while back row characters are safer but less effective with physical attacks. The games feature full voice acting for important scenes, animated cutscenes, and a magic system where spells grow stronger with use. You'll explore dungeons, solve puzzles, and manage resources while building relationships with your party members through extensive dialogue and character interactions that develop throughout the long journey. Ni no Kuni tells the story of Oliver, a young boy who loses his mother and discovers he can travel to a parallel magical world where he might be able to save her by becoming a wizard and stopping the Dark Djinn Shadar. The game combines traditional JRPG exploration with a creature collection system where you capture and train familiars, magical creatures that fight alongside your human characters in battles. Combat happens in real time, where you can move around the battlefield, but you select attacks from menus like classic JRPGs, creating a hybrid system that feels both modern and nostalgic. You'll learn magic spells, craft items using alchemy, and complete side quests for townspeople who need help with various problems. Studio Ghibli handled the art direction, giving the game a beautiful anime movie look with hand-drawn cutscenes and gorgeous environments that look like they came straight from a Miyazaki film. The emotional story deals with themes of loss, growing up, and finding the strength to help others even when you're hurting inside. Pokémon Legends Arceus takes you back to ancient Sinnoh called Hisui, where humans and Pokémon don't get along and most people fear these mysterious creatures. You play as a member of the Galaxy Expedition Team, working to create the region's first Pokédex by studying wild Pokémon behavior in their natural habitats. The game breaks away from traditional Pokémon formulas by letting you catch Pokémon directly in the overworld by sneaking up and throwing Pokéballs without entering during battle, though you can still fight them first if needed. Combat uses a new turn order system based on agile and strong style moves that can let you attack multiple times or deal extra damage at the cost of speed. You'll explore large open areas filled with different Pokémon that change based on time of day and weather. Complete research tasks that involve observing specific behaviors and craft items from materials you gather while exploring. The story involves alpha Pokémon, mysterious space-time distortions, and the legendary Arceus, while introducing new regional forms and evolution methods that add fresh twists to familiar monsters. Star Ocean: The Second Story R remakes the classic PlayStation JRPG with modern graphics while keeping the original's deep gameplay systems. The story follows Claude, a young Federation officer who gets stranded on an underdeveloped planet called Expel, where he meets Rune, a girl with healing powers who believes he's the legendary hero of light prophesized to save their world from destruction. You can choose to play as either Claude or Rune, which changes some story scenes and character interactions throughout the adventure. The real-time combat system lets you control one character while AI handles the others, using special attacks and magic spells as you move around the battlefield freely. Between battles, you'll use the item creation system, where characters can craft weapons, accessories, and useful items using skills like blacksmithing, cooking, and art, with success depending on character talents and compatibility. The private action system lets you explore towns alone and make choices that affect relationships between party members, influencing the ending you receive and unlocking different story paths with multiple romance options.
I took him by surprise? Yes. Nice. This was a harder battle.
Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance puts you in the shoes of a high school student who gets transported to Dot, a post-apocalyptic version of Tokyo overrun by demons, where he fuses with a mysterious being called Aogami to become the forbidden Nahobino. The expanded Vengeance edition adds a new storyline called the Canon of Vengeance alongside the original Canon of Creation, giving you two different paths through the story with different characters, demons, and endings to discover. Combat uses traditional turn-based battles where hitting enemy weaknesses gives you extra turns, but now includes Magatsuhi skills, powerful attacks that can change the flow of battle when your Magatsuhi gauge fills up. The Demon Fusion system lets you combine captured demons to create stronger ones, passing down skills and resistances to customize your team for different challenges. You'll explore the ruins of Tokyo, negotiate with demons to recruit them to your cause, and make choices that determine which ending you get in this mature story about gods, demons, and human nature. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition follows Shulk, a researcher who gains the power of the mysterious Monado sword after his home is attacked by mechanical invaders, setting him on a quest for revenge that reveals the truth about his world. Two massive titans locked in eternal battle. The combat system combines real-time movement with menu-based special attacks called arts that have cooldown timers, letting you position characters while managing when to use your most powerful abilities. You'll explore massive open areas filled with side quests, hidden treasures, and powerful monsters while building affinity between party members through heart-to-heart conversations and shared battles. The Monado's vision system shows future events during battle, letting you change fate by warning allies or using specific arts to counter upcoming attacks. Colony management involves helping NPCs with their problems, which unlocks new shops, items, and areas to explore as you build connections throughout the world.
Thanks, Ryan. That was a close one. Man, what were you doing?
Room Factory Guardians of Azuma combines farming simulation with action RPG combat in a Japanese-inspired setting where you play as an amnesiac hero who must restore a cursed land called Azuma with help from the Earth Dancer ritual. The story involves ancient guardians, a mysterious curse that's draining the life from the land, and your role as someone who can communicate with both spirits and monsters to heal the damage. You'll grow crops, raise monsters as livestock, fish, mine, and craft items during the day, then venture into dungeons to fight monsters and gather materials using real-time combat with swords, magic, and farming tools as weapons. The taming system lets you befriend wild monsters and bring them back to your farm, where they help with daily tasks like watering crops, producing items, or fighting alongside you in battles. Romance options let you build relationships with eligible characters through gift-giving, conversations, and special events that lead to marriage and family life. The game balances relaxing farm management with exciting dungeon exploration, letting you progress at your own pace while uncovering the mysteries of Azuma's curse and your forgotten past.
Nah.
NieR Automata takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has fled to the moon while android soldiers 2B, 9S, and A2 fight an endless war against machine invaders on Earth's surface. The story explores themes of consciousness, identity, and what it means to be alive through multiple playthroughs that reveal different perspectives and hidden truths about the conflict. Combat blends fast-paced action with bullet hell shooting sections, letting you switch between different weapon types like swords, spears, and gauntlets while dodging complex attack patterns and using your pod companion for ranged support. The game features multiple endings that require several playthroughs to fully understand the story, with each playthrough adding new gameplay mechanics, character perspectives, and story revelations that change how you see previous events. You'll explore the ruins of human civilization, help machine lifeforms with their strange requests, and question the nature of consciousness as the lines between android and machine intelligence become increasingly blurred. This complete edition includes all DLC content and addresses that give you the full experience of one of gaming's most thought-provoking narratives wrapped in excellent action gameplay. Fantasy Life is The Girl Who Steals Time expands the beloved life simulation RPG formula with a brand new story about time manipulation and the consequences of trying to change fate. You create your own character and choose from multiple life classes like Paladin, Wizard, Blacksmith, or Cook, each with unique abilities and storylines that interconnect with the main plot about a mysterious girl who can steal time itself. The game combines real-time combat with extensive crafting systems where your chosen life affects how you fight, what items you can create, and which story paths you can access. You'll explore a large fantasy world filled with quests that range from epic battles against dragons to helping townspeople with everyday problems, all while building relationships with non-player characters and fellow adventurers. The time-stealing mechanic creates unique gameplay situations where you might need to manipulate events to solve puzzles or change outcomes, adding a fresh twist to traditional fantasy RPG gameplay. With hundreds of hours of content across multiple life classes, relationship building, home customization, and a story that deals with friendship, sacrifice, and the price of power. Live Alive is a unique JRPG that tells 7 different stories across different time periods, from prehistoric times to the distant future, each with its own main character and gameplay style. You'll experience everything from a caveman learning to communicate, to a ninja infiltrating a castle, to a robot on a spaceship dealing with horror elements. Each chapter uses the same basic turn-based combat system, but adds unique mechanics. The Western chapter plays like a duel, while the modern chapter focuses on reading minds to solve mysteries. The combat takes place on a grid where positioning matters for attack range and movement, and each character has special abilities that charge up over time. After completing all chapters, the stories connect in a final scenario that brings together elements from each time period. The game features multiple endings based on your choices throughout the adventure, pixel art graphics that look amazing on the Switch screen, and a soundtrack that perfectly captures each era's mood and atmosphere. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster brings back 2 classic RPGs about political intrigue, war, and friendship in a fantasy world where you recruit 108 stars of destiny to build your own army and base. The first game follows a young Imperial Guard who discovers corruption in his own army and leads a rebellion, while the second game is about childhood friends torn apart by war and betrayal. Both games use traditional turn-based combat for regular battles, but also feature large-scale army battles where you command entire units using rock, paper, scissors style strategy, and one-on-one duels that require reading your opponent's moves. You'll recruit characters by completing quests, finding them in towns, or convincing them to join your cause, with each character having their own backstory and role in your growing headquarters. The political storylines deal with mature themes like corruption, sacrifice, and the cost of war, while the friendship elements add emotional weight to every decision you make about who to trust and who to fight. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 concludes the trilogy with the most emotional story yet. Set in a world where 2 nations fight an endless war using soldiers who only live for 10 years before their time runs out. You control 6 characters from both sides who discover the truth about their world and decide to break the cycle of violence that keeps everyone trapped. The combat system combines real-time movement with cooldown-based arts and special chain attacks, where all 6 party members work together for massive damage combos. You can switch between different classes to customize each character's role, learning new abilities and finding the best combinations for your playstyle. The massive open world areas are filled with side quests that develop the characters and world lore, while the main story tackles themes about life, death, and finding meaning in a seemingly hopeless situation. With over 100 hours of content and some of the most beautiful environments on the Switch, this game delivers an epic conclusion that will make you cry and cheer.
Phantom Slap! Crash out! Don't die!
Repeal! This is healing for
Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door brings back the beloved RPG mechanics that fans have been asking for, with Mario exploring a papercraft world to collect crystal stars and save Peach from an ancient evil sealed behind the Thousand-Year Door. The turn-based combat uses timed button presses for extra damage on attacks and reduced damage when defending, making every battle interactive and engaging. You'll recruit paper partners like Goombella and Koops, who have both battle abilities and overworld skills needed to solve environmental puzzles and reach new areas. The story takes Mario to diverse locations like a fighting tournament, a spooky forest, and a luxury train, each with unique characters and mysteries to solve. Badge system lets you customize Mario's abilities by equipping different combinations that affect his stats, attacks, and special moves. The humor and writing are top-notch, with clever jokes and memorable characters that make even simple fetch quests entertaining, while the paper aesthetic creates some of the most creative visual effects you'll see in any RPG. Octopath Traveler 2 follows 8 different characters, each with their own personal story and unique field ability for interacting with NPCs and solving problems in towns. The stories range from a dancer seeking revenge against those who destroyed her village, to a scholar trying to decode ancient texts, to a thief looking for a legendary treasure. Combat uses a turn-based system where you can boost your attacks by saving up BP points, and breaking enemy defenses by hitting their weaknesses opens them up for massive damage. Each character has a different job class with unique abilities, and you can learn secondary jobs to create powerful combinations and strategies. The HD 2D art style combines 16-bit sprites with modern lighting and effects to create some of the most beautiful visuals on the Switch. You can tackle the 8 stories in any order you want, and they eventually connect in interesting ways during the post-game content. The music is absolutely incredible, with each character having their own themes that perfectly capture their personality and journey.
Here I come. How's this? I'll cut you down!
What's our plan?
Final Fantasy XII takes place in the desert kingdom of Dalmasca, where a young street thief named Vaughn gets caught up in a rebellion against an occupying empire, meeting sky pirates and fallen knights along the way. The story deals with political intrigue, war, and destiny as your party works to free their homeland from Imperial control. Instead of traditional turn-based combat, the game uses a real-time system where you can move freely around battlefields while attacks happen automatically based on timers. The Gambit system lets you program AI behaviors for your party members, setting up conditions like heal when HP is below 50% or attack the enemy with lowest health, making battles feel strategic even when automated. You'll explore large open areas filled with monsters, treasures, and optional bosses, while the license board lets you customize each character's abilities and equipment by spending points earned from battles. The Zodiac Age version includes job classes that focus character development and quality of life improvements like fast-forward options for grinding.
Captain?
Unicorn Overlord combines tactical RPG battles with kingdom management as you play as a prince trying to reclaim your homeland from an evil empire that conquered it years ago. The story follows your quest to gather allies, liberate towns, and build an army strong enough to take back your throne from the corrupt forces that drove your family into exile. Combat takes place on large battlefields where you deploy units that move and fight automatically based on tactics you set up before battle, letting you focus on positioning and strategy rather than controlling individual attacks. You can recruit dozens of characters with different classes and abilities, forming them into squads that work well together and giving them equipment and skills that complement their roles. Between battles, you'll manage liberated towns by assigning characters to different jobs, upgrading facilities, and making choices that affect your kingdom's development and story outcomes. The beautiful hand-drawn art style looks like a high-quality anime, while the branching storyline changes based on which characters you recruit and which paths you choose through the campaign.
Brace yourself.
Does this suit you?
Witness the royal blade.
I am your shield. Behold my might!
Persona 5 Royal follows a high school student who gains the power to enter people's distorted desires and steal their corrupted hearts, working with friends to reform adults who abuse their power in society. The story tackles serious themes like corruption, abuse, and social justice, while your group of phantom thieves tries to change the world one palace at a time. You'll spend your days going to school and building relationships with classmates and adults around Tokyo, while your evenings are spent exploring palaces, dungeon-like manifestations of corrupt people's twisted desires. Combat uses a turn-based system, where hitting enemy weaknesses gives you extra turns, and you can negotiate with demons to recruit them as personas that give you different magical abilities. The social simulation elements are just as important as the dungeon crawling, as building relationships improves your personas and unlocks new story content. Every day matters as you balance school life, part-time jobs, studying, and saving the world, creating a uniquely Japanese take on the superhero genre. The stylish presentation and incredible jazz soundtrack make every moment feel cool and engaging. Dragon Quest XI's follows a young man who discovers he's the Luminary, a legendary hero destined to save the world from an approaching darkness, but gets branded as a demon and must go into hiding to avoid persecution. The story takes you on a classic hero's journey across a beautiful world filled with charming towns, dangerous dungeons, and memorable characters who join your quest to stop the Dark One. Combat uses traditional turn-based battles where you select attacks from menus, but adds modern touches like free movement around the battlefield and combination attacks between party members. You can switch between 3D and 2D modes at any time, with the 2D mode recreating the classic 16-bit Dragon Quest experience, while the 3D mode shows off gorgeous visuals and animations. The Definitive Edition includes voice acting, additional story content, and quality of life improvements that make this the best way to experience the game. With over 100 hours of content, this is a love letter to classic JRPGs that proves the traditional formula still works perfectly when done right.
Go on! You can do it! Get him!
Monster Hunter Rise transforms the series into a more action-focused experience while keeping the deep combat and crafting systems that fans love, as you play as a hunter protecting Kimura Village from massive monsters during the rampage. The story follows the mystery of why monsters are going crazy and attacking in large groups, leading to discoveries about ancient dragons and the history of your village. Combat focuses on learning each monster's attack patterns and weak points, using 14 different weapon types that each feel like playing a completely different game, from fast dual blades to slow but powerful greatswords. The new wirebug system lets you zip around environments and perform special attacks, making movement feel more fluid and dynamic than ever before. You'll hunt monsters to collect materials for crafting better weapons and armor, creating a satisfying loop of fighting tougher monsters to get gear for even tougher challenges. The game includes both single-player and multiplayer hunting, with the ability to bring Palico cats and Palamute dogs as AI companions that help in battles and exploration.
Here comes the pit!
Those are my top 20 JRPGs on Nintendo Switch that you absolutely need to play. Each one offers something different, from classic turn-based combat to real-time action and everything in between. Let me know in the comments which ones you've played and what your favorite JRPGs are on the system. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching and happy gaming!